Hi, I'm Jim Frazier of ARC Advisory Group. Today, I'm speaking with Gil Levonai of Vanti. Welcome, Gil.
Thank you for having me, Jim.
Great. It's great to have you here in Orlando at the ARC Annual Conference. Can you explain for us today some of your work in energy optimization of desalination plants?
Yes, of course. So we at Vanti, we specialize in optimizing manufacturing and processes, industrial processes. One of our customers is one of the biggest desalination plants in the world, which means that they take salt water and they make them into fresh water. Okay, we're talking about a very large-scale operation, and they are trying to optimize their energy consumption for two reasons. One, just like to reduce their energy consumption, but two, different days, different times have different rates of power from the power grid. So they're trying to optimize their operation to reduce their power bill by using more electricity when it's cheap and less electricity when it's expensive, of course. So that's kind of like what we're trying to do there together.
Desalination, I understand, is a very energy-intensive process. It requires high pressures, large pumps to push water through very fine filters. How do you go about saving energy and optimizing those processes?
So the good news there is that they are actually very advanced in terms of like data collection. They collect something like 55,000 data points every minute from all over the plant. The plant is literally, a mile or I think 2 miles long, where that's kind of like the process the water goes through, and some of the water goes through, as you say, lots of filters, reverse osmosis processes, and during that whole process, data is collected. Now, day to day operate in two shifts, and there's one person that kind of like turns the knobs and saying, okay, let's do more of that, let's do less of that, and that's it. AI can actually take much more data than a person can do and analyze it and provide a prediction of, hey, if we'll change these parameters, we will be more efficient here or in this stage or that stage or that stage, hence reducing energy consumption. So that's kind of like on the ongoing level, and then on the macro level, placing in also the power rates that they know upfront how much the power is going to cost them during the day, during the week. Then taking that into the calculation, you can actually optimize and say, okay, no, pump less now, pump more later, pump more tonight, pump more water at these times of days, because eventually they need to supply the demand that is out there, but they can supply it at different times of day. So that's the second level of optimization. So the first level is just like optimizing the parameters in an ongoing manner. The second is optimizing the overall process for days of the week and for hours of the days.
So again, it's the 55,000 data points that come in a near real-time basis. Mm-hmm. Then we have the energy rates that are an input. Does Vanti also take in the catalog, the embedded intelligence of the operators and put that into the AI system as well?
So yes and no. So yes, because at the first stage of a project like that, we normally just give recommendations, and then the people that know the system, know the factory, they either take or not, or they fine tune. They come back and they bring the system more information, say, hey, no, this is not really the right direction, or this is, so they kind of like fine tune the model. The whole model training is very fast, and the important thing to understand is that you don't need 55,000 points. You probably need a much lower number that are relevant to the problem, and that's also a place where AI and models and ML models can help, which is identify which parameters are actually influencing the end result, because not all of them are. Probably a few of them are actually influencing, so then you focus on optimizing with these parameters and not all of them. So that's where also the human knowledge is very important, because they know which parameters are actually doing what in the process. Hence, they help the AI model to understand, okay, these parameters are important, these parameters are less important.
That's a nice segue to my next question is, if I am a desalinization plant operator and I'm considering deploying a Vanti system, can I do it incrementally, or do I buy the whole package and trust that it will take over for me?
100% incrementally, 100%. You can incrementally in different levels. First level is you can just like optimize one pump, one area of the process, and try to kind of like see what's the impact of that. The second level of incrementation you can do is you start with just like getting the predictions more like analytics wise, and then you decide what do you like them, you don't like them, what to do with them, and then you can actually do a closed loop control where the prediction goes to the process automatically and actually changes the process on the fly. So that's the most advanced implementation is when you do closed loop control. Like parameters come in, AI model predicts and also instructs the process, hey, change this way, change that way.
Can you share a little bit about Vanti AI, their background, and how they came to the AI space?
So Vanti AI was founded by two founders, Niro and Smadar, which came from an industrial background. They were in manufacturing and in electronics and semiconductor, and they saw that there's so much optimization can happen that AI can help with that is just not happening. So they founded the Vanti with the real vision of democratizing AI for OT professionals. Today we have a great example, ChatGPT. Everybody knows that. You don't need to be a data scientist. You don't need to know how to do Python programming. You just like use an application. That's what we do with Vanti. We provide an applications for these process engineers, manufacturing engineers, quality engineers, operational OT professionals at the plant level, and they use an application that takes their data and helps them do optimized processes, quality, visual inspections, all of these things, but without them actually becoming a data scientist, without them becoming, know how to program. They use that as an application, not as a data science team. So that's kind of like what Vanti is all about.
Well, thanks for that, Gil. We're just about out of time. Do you have any last minute comments for our audience?
Yeah, I think that, we saw a lot of broken promise of AI in manufacturing in the last few years where people, went and did a lot of investment in data science teams. Mm-hmm. And the projects were sometimes successful, but always took way too long, like 6 months projects, and couldn't scale. And then they broke after because AI, if you don't have adaptive AI like we have, it breaks after a time because there's like changes in the environment. So I think Vanti produces a kind of like a fresh approach to that. We say, hey, here's an application for you guys to use. You don't need to go through this process. It's a 2 days process, not a 6 months process. And give it a try. I think people will see that AI can actually, just like ChatGPT, where it kind of like opens everybody's mind to, hey, I can actually use AI in my daily life. We're trying to do the same in manufacturing.
I've been speaking with Gil Levonai of Vanti today. Thank you very much for watching.